This is the Infinix GT20 Pro, and merely looking at it you can probably tell that it is a gaming device. But is it a good one? Let's try something different. For every point I talk about regarding this phone, we'll give it a point or a score over 10. And at the end of this video, we'll have a number over 100. Is that good? Okay. Will this phone stand the test? Also, without its gaming capabilities, can it function seamlessly as a regular phone? Can a non-gamer who just wants a gaming looking phone use this? Without further ado, let's dive right in. The weight of this phone is 194 grams, and depending on the size of your hands, it may seem bulky when you hold it with one hand, especially if you're not gaming and if you're using it as a regular phone. If you have big hands, this phone might be light, and it's close to the weight of something like the iPhone 15 Plus. However, since it's a gaming phone, it's designed to be used like this sideways, and the weight will be distributed on both hands, so the grip will be comfortable anyway, especially during gameplay. Infinix provides a tempered glass screen protector for the screen, and while it's not a Gorilla Glass Victor screen, for example, a screen protector is something that people who are worried about protecting their phone would get anyway, so getting it in the box is kind of cool. The phone's IP54 rating offers a basic protection against dust and water splashes. I think it would have been nicer if it had a better IP rating. If you don't take a close look at the back of the GT20 Pro, you would think this is glass, and even if you get up close, you still have to touch it to be very sure. It is not glass, it is polycarbonate, and I wish it was made of glass, but that would just make the price higher. The camera area is glass and there's a little bit of aluminum on the side. I also wish we could charge this wirelessly, but this device is also a fingerprint magnet and you should probably prepare to wipe it a few times. We had to wipe it a lot for this video. The sides are also made of plastic. Lastly, Infinix includes this case, which is made of a durable plastic too, to provide overall protection for your phone. This case is designed to withstand multiple drops, ensuring your phone remains untouched, and it also has this cutouts for the loop lights at the back. Considering all the factors, I rate the build quality of this phone a moderate 7.5 out of 10. The materials are good and they were utilized effectively in the right places. I wish it was glass, but they had to save cost somehow, especially for people who would want to consider buying this. Now to the next section that I think gamers will absolutely like, the design of this phone. Even with the case on, this phone maintains that gamer design. The unique combination of the light leaking at the back and the blue meteor design creates this very computer-esque, cyber-inspired look. Now, removing the case reveals a much nicer robotic Mecha blue color. It just looks really cool, like it's so much intricacies and details on the back. So this Mecha blue color that we have in the studio is one of several available options, but I'm particularly drawn to it. Overall, the appearance is silvery blue with minor highlights representing the Mecha blue concept. I like the design impressions created on the back of the phone. Again, a robotic cyber design that appears to have individual pieces screwed on. Also, the hidden colors within the text and lines shine when light passes through, resulting in a subtle splash of colors. Another aspect I appreciate is the design and positioning of the cameras. As someone who is drawn to symmetry and alignment, the cameras and the flashlight are in this squared off position. They are well positioned and the camera bump doesn't protrude too much. It feels relatively slim and you can just step down to the aluminum and step down to the back of the phone. Very well done. To elevate this design, Infinix added the Mecha loop lighting, and this is a customizable feature that allows you to personalize lighting patterns at the back of the phone for various functionalities. It looks something like that. Different light settings can be assigned to incoming calls, notifications, charging, music. The settings also provide 8 color combinations and 4 lighting effects for the loops display. The party mode keeps the light continuously on until you manually turn it off, though it will drain your battery faster. Notably, the GT Game Boot activates the lights whenever you are playing a game, and additional options are available to fine-tune the settings to your liking. In addition to its features, the phone also has an IR blaster that is located at the top of the device next to the Sound by JBL inscription. This enables the phone to double as a remote control, granting it the ability to control like ACs and stuff in your house, various appliances. The phone does not have a headphone jack, but it comes with a USB-C wired headphone. Now, this decision might be because there would be a limited space for a 3.5mm headphone, given the charging design of the phone. The phone's design earns a 9 out of 10 rating due to that overall aesthetic and the details at the back. Just the back is giving this phone, is pushing this phone a lot. The only reason it doesn't get a perfect score is because it's not glass. I'm biased. But again, if it is glass, it would break and it would be more expensive. So Yeah. The 6.78-inch screen on this gaming phone is important for an immersive experience. While reaching the top of the phone might be challenging for those with smaller hands, the device will mostly be used sideways, in a sideways position anyway. So I think that solves the issues. Whether you're watching a movie or you're playing a game, the large screen provides that visually engrossing experience. It's an AMOLED display. It has a resolution of 1080p by 2436 pixels, and it has like vibrant colors, decent image quality, and a relatively slimmed down bezel. The phone has an impressive screen to body ratio too, 94.3% according to Infinix, and it gives this illusion of no borders, especially when the background is black. Also, something that I like is that the display is not just squared off. The edges have a slight curve, so it doesn't like nick you off when you're like pressing it or on the edge, which is just a subtle detail, but I think is also nice to point out. You can get up to 1300 nits of brightness, and it automatically adapts to your surroundings even under direct sunlight. You can enjoy a clear and vivid display, making it easy to play games or view social media content in public without visual discomfort. The phone also features a 144Hz refresh rate, which enables quicker display interactions and smoother visuals. From the ultra touch settings on your settings, you can modify the swipe and motion speed to your preference. This gives you a level of control over your display experience, irrespective of the refresh rate option that you select. While 144Hz refresh rate offers better responsiveness, this comes at the cost of increased battery consumption. Hence, the flexibility to switch between 144Hz, 120Hz to 60Hz to get better out of your battery performance. Something Infinix said it did here was that in addition to the high-level Dimensity chipset here, they added a dedicated gaming chip that uses what they call motion estimation, motion compensation, MEMC. So whether the game is in 60 FPS, it can actually look like it was 120 FPS, making it smoother. And this is reportedly comparable to Snapdragon processors. So it seems like there's an improvement here, and because of all of that, display gets 8.5 out of 10. Let's talk about this phone's performance in gaming. Powering this phone is the MediaTek Dimensity 8200 Ultimate 4nm processor that can handle high frame rates and maintain smooth gameplay in some graphically intense games. The phone effortlessly handles high graphics settings without compromising performance, and that's thanks to the good heat management system that just keeps this cool for extended periods of gaming, by the way. So there are so many things that Infinix did with this regarding gaming on this phone with their X-Boost software tech, and I want to talk about it. You have three priority options when it comes to gaming. You can prioritize power, you can make it balanced, and you can prioritize performance. You can even lock the screen brightness, and you can super boost the game. You can lock your frame rate at 120 FPS. You can trigger smart cooling, tap sensitivity, and many more things. But there are two things I want to highlight. The first one is esports mode. You see, when you swipe from the left and you turn it on, it can actually block notifications, incoming calls, alarms, navigation gestures, the status bar, making you completely locked into the game. And not only do you get enhanced performance, you also get a stable frame rate, network priority, touch responsiveness, among other things. But a warning though, with esports mode, Infinix actually even mentions that your phone might heat up because of how immersive it will be. The second thing is the GT light effects. When it's on, it shows you the performance status of your phone. So if it is green at the back, it's good. If it is orange, it shows that it's low. And if it is red, it shows that something needs to change. I think it's pretty cool to have a lighting indicator, and even when you're gaming in the dark, it just looks nice. If you game for over an hour, you might notice some lag with gameplay. However, it can quickly recover with the fast touch responsiveness, which is quite commendable. The battery decently charges fast, and while it's plugged in, you can get hours of uninterrupted gaming. And we tested this among PUBG, Mortal Kombat, Asphalt, and COD. The Infinix GT20 Pro performed well with minimal lag and only slight warmth during intense gaming sessions. Now, for the gaming of this phone and the efforts added to make gaming worth the cost, I'll be giving this a 9 out of 10. Now, games tend to take a lot of space, so having enough memory space is needed. Depending on how much of a gamer you are and whether you want to download as many games as possible, this phone comes with 256GB, and it might not be a lot for some people and it might be enough for some people, but this phone lacks a memory card slot as well, so you only get 250GB, and I think that's the only option as well. There's no like upgrade. The big question is, what happens when gamers exhaust the available storage? If you newly download Call of Duty, you would already be taking around 5GB or 7GB, and you have to still download more in-game assets if you want to game much more. So the more space you take up, the less storage you have, and you can't really expand it if you max out 250GB. While the phone does feature a low storage management system that basically restricts certain third-party apps when storage is running low, this could be a hindrance if you're someone that uses a lot of apps naturally. On the other hand, the phone has a built-in 12GB RAM supplemented by an additional 6GB of RAM by default, but it can be expanded up to another 12GB of RAM, all from your storage. Overall, I'll give this a 7 out of 10 because I think there's just one storage option. Despite featuring JBL, the audio quality of this phone is only decent. Now, hear me out. When you're watching a movie, the speaker can reach high volumes in quiet environment, but it's not as loud when you're in a noisy place. I listened to music and I watched videos with this guy, and I noticed that the sound could have been better, especially when it comes to vocals on songs and vocals or voices in movies. I think it could have been more rounded, and I compared it to other flagship phones. I think this could have benefited from more. However, during gameplay, the audio quality of this device just flips. It is impressive and it sounds excellent. It's like it was designed to sound better for gaming. There's just like this focus and stylistic nature of like the sound when it comes to gaming. Some games don't have haptic feedback, and this one just follows your finger with the sound. For gameplay, I don't know how, but the quality just seems, the sound quality seems like a 10 out of 10 for gaming. This is what the audio sounds like when you're watching a movie.
Oh, from me. Who do we have here? She's from a place of abundance. This is our destiny.
And this is what the audio sounds like when you're playing a game. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, I'll be rating the audio quality an 8 out of 10. It's good, but it could have been much better for vocals, not just for gaming. Another critical aspect of a gaming phone is the battery life. The phone has 5000 mAh battery, and under light usage you should get around 17 hours, while under intense use it will drain in a few hours. However, the phone comes with a 45-watt charger that can charge this phone from 0 to 100% in just around 61 minutes. Uniquely, the charger connects horizontally rather than vertically, and it is much more comfortable for gamers to feel like there's nothing in their way when they are playing a game. The phone has several charging features that ensure smooth gameplay while it's charging. The AI charging protection adapts to your charging patterns, while the bypass charging directly powers the phone, bypassing the battery, and this will prevent overheating according to Infinix, and it will enhance the user experience. I think something noteworthy that people might find funny is that you have until 2% before your battery actually runs out. And because when it drops to 1%, your battery just starts counting down before it just dies. Regarding the battery life and charging, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, given that this is a gaming phone and the battery life could have been better, charging speed could have been better, it could have been better than 61 minutes from 0 to 100%. The phone has a camera setup featuring 108 megapixels in the back, capable of zooming from 1 to 10x. The secondary camera is a 2 megapixel macro camera for close-up, and the third one is a depth sensor for portraits. The camera takes decent photos in low light and performs well in good lighting conditions, but the AI effect can sometimes turn on automatically and make it look unnatural. The camera can capture 4K at 60 frames per second, and the 32 megapixel can capture 2K at 30 frames per second. The photos are usable and you can get varying results, but it will be comparably better in bright lighting versus low light, and you have better exposure there as well. The device's sensor also notifies you if you accidentally cover the lens, so it will provide accurate distance information for portrait photos. Overall, I rate this camera an 8 out of 10. So this phone operates on Android 14 with Infinix's custom skin XOS 14 for GT. The first thing I noticed when I started the phone was the animated logo with this glitch effect. To me, it's just different from other phones. One notable feature of this phone is its personalization options. There are two distinct themes available, the ones designed for gamers and the ones designed for people who prefer a more traditional look, or should we say regular people. Among the various live wallpaper options available, there's one general live wallpaper that I particularly like, and I just love the zoom in effect when you unlock your phone. It just has this very unique effect. You just put your fingerprint and it just opens into your phone, and I think it's a therapeutic experience too, because it's more like an interactive wallpaper that follows your fingerprints. You also have a graffiti hand painting wallpaper, and you can just use this to, unwind. I think it looks very personalized, and you can, make it look the way you would want to look it, so nobody else will have the same wallpaper as you. Of course, you can copy and paste highlighted text directly to your note without having to go through the traditional process of copying, opening an app, and then pasting. I'll rate the operating system an 8.5 out of 10 because I believe a significant amount of thought and consideration was put into it. I personally like the wallpaper look and feel, and of course the effort into making a gaming themed phone here. I think it just also stands out. This is a 5G phone and it should go for around $300, which is around 400k to 450k in Naira. But if you want to know the actual price when this phone is launched, make sure you check my pinned comment. For this price, I think I would give this category an 8 as well. I think we've been giving all the past categories like 8 and 8.5. In summary, the GT20 Pro scored 81.5 out of 100. And while it is my personal assessment, I want to know what your thoughts are. If you can share your thoughts and opinions on this phone in the comments below, what would you have rated this phone section by section? Just drop a comment below. Let's just have fun with it. And also let me know if you have any questions. Click here to check out my video on the Infinix Note 40 Pro. It's the latest flagship from Infinix, and I think you would actually like that phone as well. So I'll see you in that video.